Well, the body shop has dropped this brand new door panel on the floor. Can we save the day and make it new again? It's time to get to work. One thing we know is that this metallic trim is made of ABS plastic, meaning that it sands very easily, and that will work to our advantage. So what I want to do here is sand only as much as I need to. And I'm wet sanding with 400 grit. My objective is to see how many scratches I can eliminate with the 400 grit without having to be more aggressive. I don't want to cause any more damage than I need to. So we'll speed through the 400 grit, and then we're going to switch to the 600 grit. Now the coating we're going to use will actually hide the 400 grit scratches, but we'll get a shinier, glossier finish if we fine sand it. So if we want to, we can take a couple of steps here with the 1000 grit and the 1500 grit. And we will use the quality tape to mask off all the important parts. And because I knew I was going to paint the metallic trim, I brought along a piece of trim to paint just as a mock-up. And this would be a good facsimile of my final result. I get a good chance to look at the color when sprayed on a similar substrate. Now the color we are using is a high metallic water-based trim paint. This is absolutely one of the very best of the new products that have come into play in recent years. I love using it. As you may know, when spraying metallics, we don't want to spray a wet coat, because the metallic particles will swim around in the eddies like fish, and they will leave that design in the finish. So we're spraying what we call a dry coat. It's a very thin, finely atomized coating. So we need to be patient and not try to cover our damage all at once. We use multiple coats to lay down a fine atomized layer. That means that on the adjustment screw for the volume of paint, we want to set it in where we have very little paint coming out when we pull a full trigger. Also, we want the air pressure to be up where we're atomizing and we have no large droplets at all. We want the finest droplet that we can get. And so that's how we determine the little bit of higher air pressure setting. And of course, the hair dryer helps to dry each coating as it's laid down. And that speeds us up because we can put multiple coats that way in quick succession. And our first attempt at coating has revealed where we need some further work. In fact, while this panel looked good from one direction, if you went around the other side and looked, you could see scratches that weren't otherwise evident. So we're just going a little further on these parts. And so here we are again with the color. This could be our final color coat, or it could be the color coat that reveals something further. We just don't know yet, but it's necessary to get color on there before we can determine our progress. So we're coming up to the point where the camera cut out on me, but we finished this coating and that revealed one more deep scratch. And there is no avoiding it. We had to get out the big 220 grit to get out this scratch. Here we want to take care that we don't dig out too much of a bowl shape. That's going to be so obvious in this shiny finish. So we're going to take out the scratch, but we're also going to go a little bit before it and a little bit after it to make a gradual slope. And we'll go through the steps of the different sandpapers as well here, because this should do it. This should be the end result if we've chased that scratch all the way down. All right, so we are hoping that this coating is going to be the last one. Something else that happens while you're spraying like this and you have the air from the hair dryer bouncing back to your gun, you can get the paint drying at the tip of your gun. So when you see that it's not coming out as usual, you have to clean off the tip and then you're back to good spraying again. Very typical when you're doing up close work and very fine work like this. If you look closely, you can see what appears to be some small ripples or something here in the surface, and I don't know exactly what those are. But we're going to take some 2000 sandpaper and just run over top of those little ripples and clean them down. Of course, we're trying to put a clean room finish on this while we're standing out here in the gravel. And that's not always easy to do, but that's the story for a lot of mobile technicians anyway. So just a little fine sanding and wiping, and then we're going to go again on the surface. And we've taken care of that little aberration, whatever it was, in the surface, and now it's nice and even. And then all that's left is we're going to blend a little further from all the areas that we fixed. We're going to go down the sides, go down the length of each of the pieces, just to make sure everything blends together nicely. The answer to our challenge is yes, we have a brand new door panel yet again. So I've set the door panel on a stack of tires over here where the new parts come in, and I've given them instructions to come and get it and put it where you know it's going to be safe. And as a side note, at the same body shop, they had painted the exterior and got exterior paint on this interior trim everywhere on this lift gate. It is a one-piece trim panel with two colors, so it needs to be masked. And we totally cleaned off all of the paint. And matching the color up and the sheen perfectly means that we just had to touch up the spots then. We didn't really have to do the entire area of that lighter color. Touched up the spots, it blended in. That saves a lot of time and a lot of product when you have it all matched up like this. And more recently, from the same body shop, I did a repair on a door panel they normally would have replaced. But because of the parts shortage, I had to repair it, and I have my little friend here inspecting the repair. He says it's pretty good. Well, getting back to our metallic water-based trim paints, we just wanted to run through a few examples of where you can use this in a car. Certainly in today's automobiles, you can't be without this product. One thing worth mentioning here is that when you look at the product in the container, it may look dark. So a spray out is going to be your best representation of the color. This might seem like a bit of work, but when you first get in your metallic coaters, put them in a gun and spray a piece of tape with it, and then put that tape on the container. That way you can hold the container up to the part to be painted and get a better feel for which is the true color. You just can't have any idea by looking at the liquid in the container how it's going to spray. There are some metallics that look very close to chrome, and you think what you have in stock is too dark to get that look, and then when you spray it out, you say, well, that blends pretty good. But please do some spray outs to attach to your inventory. It will certainly facilitate the use of the product. It will make you feel much more comfortable about reaching for the product. Here I'm touching up the edge of the leather so I don't have to mask directly onto the fresh metallic coating. But let me say this, once you have cured that metallic coating, say with a hairdryer, you'll have no trouble masking immediately on it. Of course, that's provided you've done the proper prep. But in this case, there's no need to do that. Just a little touch up on the edge is sufficient here for the leather. The damage on this console is a perfect candidate for this metallic water-based coating. It does such a good job of taking a used car and making it look like new. In this case, this is a retail customer and they are happy. And on a windy day, I made myself a little spray booth in my van for this Ford bezel. So why is a water-based product superior here? Well, it's because the original coating is water-based from the factory. So if we used a solvent, it would tend to fry that edge and wrinkle up the edge, so we would have a lot of trouble blending. But here, we don't have to necessarily do the whole piece. We can feather the damage and blend with no fears of frying the edge, wrinkling the edge, and having it peel yet more. And like the Ford bezel, these Lexus metallic pieces pop right out, and that makes it really easy to refinish, of course. So here you have something that you definitely can use and maybe it helps now to see someone having used it to give you greater confidence in your work. Thank you so much for watching.